Marvell and I were in New York some 48 or 49 years ago, and on a Sunday. And although it's pretty active on a Sunday, the whole city, we wanted something, typical of the country. So we heard there's an outdoor art show at Washington Square in downtown New York. That's right down in the art district. And we heard about it, so we took a taxi out there. And you come into that, it's like the Arc de Triomphe entrance. And you walk around, lovely homes, all with these fences, picket fences and iron fences all the way around. And all the way around there, there's beautiful art, local artists, maybe some imported artists, I don't know, who were exhibiting. And we were very impressed with it. Actually, we bought 2 paintings, which we still have to this day. And we were just thrilled with it. We had a wonderful time. We came home, had a dinner and a drink and everything else. We came home on Trans-Canada Airlines. That's what it was called then. Trans-Canada Airlines. You can imagine what it looked like 50 years ago. With a 2-prop plane, put together with wire. Anyway, that's what it was called. And there was a paper given out to us, the Toronto Daily Star. And the Toronto Daily Star had a picture on its front cover of 2 artists being ushered off of City Hall Square because they were showing their paintings in a public space on a Sunday. And at that time, the police wore bobby hats. Bobby hats are the metal ones. I don't want to date myself, but it's actually the fact. They were the metal ones, with the long metal thing. That's really an antique. Anyway, the police were hustling these guys off. And here Marvell and I are sitting there, so we're coming home from Washington Square. We're seeing all this beautiful art. And here in our provincial town, horrible. So we really didn't know what to do about it. So I knew Alan Jarvis, who was the curator and head of the art gallery in the museum in Ottawa. He was probably an Ottawa appointee, I don't know the background, but he was the top art guy. And he, by common consent, had left the gallery. The rumor goes that he adjudicated a painting as a winner, but what it was, and the artist confessed, that it was a cat, that the cat's paws were put in the paint, in the oil, and walked across the canvas. Now whether that's fact or not, that was the story that we heard, and that's what was printed in the paper, that he was fired because of that. He was really depressed, just at the time I called him. That I know, that I can speak from fact. The rest, I'm not sure. So he's very low, and I tell him this whole story. I says, we've got to have an outdoor art show. Come on to Toronto and do it. He says, I can't do it. But there's a name of a fella that you got to use, and his name is Jack Pollock. Do you remember Jack Pollock, any of you? Jack Pollock worked for us, volunteer, all the way through, he and his friend, and he was the director of it. And in order to do it, we couldn't get a site anywhere in the city. The parks, the one below, below on Jarvis Street, below where the Four Seasons was, it's below Carlton's, a lovely park there with a beautiful garden thing. Allen Gardens. We went into Allen Gardens. We tried to get that. We tried to get Queen's Park. We went everywhere. We could not get any city thing. No way. We came to the city and said, let us be on City Hall. Steps. No way. Anyway, we were building the Four Seasons Hotel then. And it was a motor hotel. Those of you who don't know it, it's on Jarvis Street, just above Carl. It's not there anymore. And it was being built, and it was just about 2 years old, or 1.5 years old. And the whole idea of the hotel was like the cars parked around the exterior like they do on the highway, but it was the first one in the city. And so we vacated the parking lot, and we got the artists to hang their paintings on the fence, and my partner, sort of sharp, almost went crazy. But in the mortar, between the bricks, we hung nails, if you can imagine, in a new hotel. And we hung nails so that the paintings would hang on the building. And we were there for 6 years, every year, where we take the parking lot across the street and move our customers' cars across the street, I guess. And we would have this vacant thing, and we had it exactly as you see it for sort of 6 years. Nate Phillips, who was the mayor at the time, was just doing Nate Phillips Square. And it hadn't been completed, it was just been going. There was a big sculpture, if you remember, on a Swiss sculpture, I forget the name, somebody will remember. That's a beautiful sculpture there. Anyway, I said to Nate, Nate, and he used to come with his wife, I said, Nate, when we're on your new Nathan Phillips Square, will we be and can we be the first thing that's ever shown? And we were. And that's the birth of the Toronto Outdoor Art Show.